Teams are going to be gassed. They play 2 games in short order, but they will not care.
And we get going early. Wilkerson with the 2 to give Princeton the early lead. Cromer hard to the hole against Wilkerson. Gets Vienna on the board.
You wouldn't expect anything less. Both teams play quick.
And Maddox, nice step under Lindortner, who now pops out for an open 2. Wow, this
really quick.
We are off to a blazing start. 3-all, and it's just 30 seconds in. Nash missed that layup on the feed from Maddox. Maddox directs traffic.
Might hit 21 before the 5-minute mark.
We might at this pace. Cromer, pull-up jumper off the window, a little bit short. Rebound by Maddox. And finally, these players look slightly human. And foul on Vienna. And there's that step under. Sorry, Patrick, a step under there, you see on the replay from Maddox moments ago.
And Canyon Barry checking in for the first time in this title game. Tweaked his ankle at the very back end of that semifinal, but he's going to give it a go. He was taking some shots during the intermission, and apparently it worked. He just hits a 2 there.
Yeah, nice start for him. The ankle appears to be okay. Thermal. Cromer tried to slip, but didn't need to. Big deuce hit there by Thermal. And the biggest cheerleader of them all, Stefan Stojacic, right next to us. Wilkerson left open for 2 from the left wing. Knocks it down.
My goodness.
Big bucket, 7-5. Not even a minute and a half in.
That's a big bucket. Wilkerson is a very good outside shooter, but hasn't had a lot of that as Vienna completely loses track of the shot clock. Wilkerson, though, he hasn't really shown that outside touch too often in this tournament, but why not show up in the final with back-to-back 2s, Princeton up 2 as a timeout called.
Yeah, one of the few mistakes there by Vienna, like you said, Patrick, just kind of lost track of the shot clock completely. But it is, we've seen games throughout this weekend on both the women's and the men's side, slow, grinding ones to start. Well,
not this.
I'm not sure what you describe this as, but slow and grinding would not be it at all.
Frantic, and it's 7-5, and that's 1s and 2s. That's just a heck of a start, 1 minute and 26 seconds. And there was that flurry of 5 baskets scored on consecutive possessions. So, and I think even Stojacic, he's coming over to his teammate on the bench here, and I think calm down a little bit, slow down. And we've seen that, and Maddox for Princeton too, but Stojacic has been in his teammates' ears all the time, getting them to focus on the task at hand.
Well, that's what you love sitting this close, is you see those little intricate details, and I've loved it from Maddox, just a calm voice in the ear. Stojacic a little bit of a different style, but still gets that same message across. Hey guys, we're in this together, let's not worry about it. So Maddox takes that feed, finishes the layup, 8-5, Princeton now in front. Lob inside, great defensive play there by Canyon Barry to check that one out as Cromer had good separation on the back seal against Canyon Barry. Stojacic to Cromer on the left elbow, guarded by Maddox. Here's Lindortner, steps back for 2, in and out, rebound Maddox. Oh, tried to find Barry, but he and Wilkerson both were closing on that ball. They both stopped at the same time. One of those ones we've all had in various sports we play. You haven't? No, and it sails out of bounds.
I guess it beats the collision if they both decide not to give up, especially with Barry being one of the players.
Stojacic knocks down the 2, and Thermal takes over the chief cheerleader next to us here as Stojacic is on the floor.
And they can't give him that shot again. He hit 4 of those in quick succession in the semi. And he gets another one.
Long 2, that one just a little short. Cromer, though, had inside position on Wilkerson. And now quickly, no one closes on Wilkerson, short. Rebound by Lindortner.
Cromer closed just enough to throw that shot off.
Yeah. And a foul by Wilkerson. That's going to be an intentional foul on Isaiah Wilkerson underneath.
That's a bit of a tough call. Size mismatch, definitely trying to foul there, but to call it intentional when players have been doing that, I mean, again, we're going to get away from that narrative, but it's a tough call because a lot of times you've been making that foul, and now you give up a free throw and possession. 8-8 now, Vienna all of a sudden has tied this game up. And Princeton may be in that situation. They're not used to leading today. They've come from behind their first 2 games, and they were up 8-5, now tied 8-8.
And Kramer at the line, 36th ranked player in the world, #1 in Austria. As I look around, some of the teams, Team Edmonton taking in the action. Antwerp up top. Saville Center, a 2-story building with, of course, all the courts on the main floor, but some viewing areas up top. So they're up top. Team Edmonton, Team Winnipeg. To our broadcast right. Here's Maddox. To Nash, now to Canyon Barry. Tried to find Nash inside.
As Doug McLean off your screen makes the play and saves the ball. Surprised that's only the second time that's happened today.
I'm just glad the ball was slowly coming at us and not a couple 240-pound players. Lynn Ortner steps back. Jumper won't drop. Maddox quickly to Barry, now to Nash. And
looks like a hook.
Yeah, and Stojacic knew that he might have been in a little bit of trouble with that matchup against Nash, and goes over, pats Nash on the back. I love that about the 3x3. I mean, again, we talked about it earlier in the weekend that these players are on tour often coming up against each other at various events, so they know each other well. And you see a lot of, as we have the media timeout, you see a lot of the, after a play, guys just tap each other on the back. And I mean, it's very competitive, don't get me wrong, but there's a certain level of camaraderie here that you may not see in other competitive situations.
Yeah, and it kind of just plays off of how, essentially fun 3-on-3 is. You can compete on the court afterwards. You're going to shake hands. Exemplified in the first quarterfinal when we have two Belgian teams. Both essentially, we have Antwerp and Merksem, Merksem's essentially a suburb of Antwerp. So those guys have grown up playing and competing against each other since the time they picked up a basketball. But they were right there at the end of the game, shaking hands and moving on. Love to see that sportsmanship.
Wilkerson up top. Guarded by Kramer, gets underneath both Vienna defenders. That ball tipped away by Kramer to Stojacic. Lynn Ortner scrambled, and Wilkerson gets the tie up. And he will help up Lynn Ortner, as the tie up will favor the defensive team.
Stojacic, not for the first time, took a shot to the gut. He's hunched over, just trying to catch his breath. He'll take a seat for a second right next to us. Just does look like, I think that's the third time today alone he's taken an elbow into the chest sternum area, and he'll be fine. He just needs to breathe. And he'll get some breath as we get to mop up some moisture on the court.
As we get the court mopped up, the ball cleaned up a little bit as well.
I think the players will all enjoy this minute downtime, because all of these players are on their third game. First game started 1:30. We're at 4:45 right now, so we're talking about a lot of basketball in quick succession.
Yeah, it's a marathon that's filled with a series of mini sprints, essentially. And a travel called on Wilkerson.
A really nice defense there by Lynn Ortner. Wilkerson kind of found himself in no man's land and picked up that pivot foot when he had no other option. So good defense there by the Austrians.
Here is Lynn Ortner, kicks it out. Termal, little runner from long range, rebound by Maddox, quickly over to Wilkerson.
Yep, and again, Stojacic knows exactly what he's doing when he's fouling Nash or Maddox down low. He does not want any part of them in the low post.
No, and again, in 3x3 you can afford that to an extent. Fouls right now probably not in a bad spot, 3 apiece with 6:13 to go. We've seen some through the quarters and semis where teams are getting into that 5-6 range right now, so at that 3-4 minute mark, and so these teams probably in a decent spot foul-wise. Wilkerson gets the handle back, puts it on the floor, runner from the left side of the lane, gets his own board, puts it home. 10-9 Vienna up. Here's Stojacic. Screen coming right from Kramer, and an offensive foul, moving screen, they're going to say.
And Kramer didn't need to do that. The screen had been set. He continued to set it as Nash tried to come off it, and that's why he gets that call. That was a huge bucket by Princeton. That ended a 5-0 Vienna run.
Canyon Barry guarded by Lynn Ortner now. Great pass in and around both Vienna defenders to Nash, who finishes it off.
His father's watching at home. They'll be very proud of that pass.
Kramer from the right wing. Good for Philip Cromer hits the 2, 12-10 Vienna, as Wilkerson looks to be a little banged up. Left knee.
Could be cramps, could be the knee. As you said, 12-10 Vienna as Maddox helps Wilkerson to the bench. And again, this is just going to be an unfortunate theme, the necessity of the compressed schedule that the weather caused. But these are all pros. They will fight through it, but you don't want to see it decided by an injury.
Barry, another great look to Maddox for the dunk. Left hand bounce pass. Tough angle for Canyon Barry, but he finds Maddox. Well defended there was Termal as they tried to go curl back door. Maddox cut that off. We'll get a look at that pass. Great find by our camera crew as Maddox gets the seal on Lynn Ortner, and a great find by Canyon Barry.
Back-to-back, really nice assist. Barry still ginger on that left ankle, so maybe a little bit more of a facilitator role since he might have a little bit of a less of a step on his drive. But either way, outstanding passes.
Cromer hits the free throw, 13-11 Vienna up as we near the 5-minute mark. Maddox guarded by Termal, short corner jumper, good for Kareem Maddox.
What a shot, hand in his face.
Number 1 ranked player in the United States, 21st in the world. Stojacic down the left side of the lane, bumped by Canyon Barry. And that will send Stojacic to the free throw line.
Stojacic calling for that pick because he knew the switch was Barry, and on a healthy ankle, Stojacic is going to have a step on Barry, but took advantage and heads to the line for 1. That's 5 fouls on Princeton, so they're creeping towards that limit.
And Stojacic, outstanding in the semifinal, hits the free throw. 14-12 Vienna. Wilkerson up top to Maddox. Pulls up for 2 and hits. I'm not sure that's what he wanted. He was looking for Nash, and instead says, hey, I'm just going to take this shot from the right wing, knock it down, get my team on equal footing. Stojacic, oh my, what a big bucket back.
In the face of the biggest player on the court, too.
And hot pass from Wilkerson, deflected by Nash. For a second, thought it might deflect in, but foul called on the play. Shot wouldn't have counted even if it had kissed home, but Canyon Barry will now put the ball in play for Princeton. Has played with the G League's Iowa Wolves and played at the World Cup in 2019 for the U.S., where they were world champions. And Barry, lefty layup, continuation, foul on Cromer.
I think the ankle's fine.
It looks fine, and that reach on the left hand.
And once again, Stojacic having to calm Cromer down off ball. We saw him teed up in the quarterfinal. Came back with a vengeance in the semi, but again, maybe a little distraught at the officiating call. But the leader that Stojacic is, he's not going to let that happen in the final.
And Canyon Barry, outstanding free throw shooter, and you'll see why momentarily. Drains it.
Hasn't missed in the tournament from the line.
Stojacic, a little runner from long range. Long rebound out to Wilkerson. And a collision there. Foul is going to be called on Stojacic.
That's bonus. That's a tough foul to take. 2 players hustling for the ball. Pretty much came together at the same time. And I think they just teed up Stojacic.
Yeah.
That is, that's a tough break for Vienna.
It is, but in fairness, they had warned both Cromer and Stojacic earlier, and the conversations continued. And that's all you can really ask of an official, is to warn them before the quick tee. Barry hits the free throw.
That's an automatic if Barry's the one at the line.
Well, and hey, it's something to consider when you think about building a 3x3 team, because of the importance of free throws and the fact that it's the same as a shot from inside the arc. You want to have guys like Canyon Barry can knock down free throws. And here's a situation. Wilkerson will take these because he was the one fouled, of course, but Barry able to take those technicals. Princeton now a chance to get themselves close to a win.
One more, they'll be within a 2. That's a little bit of a comeback because Vienna had looked pretty comfortable up 16-14. Princeton's offense had kind of stalled out, but.
And Stojacic still talking to the official and getting warned again. Cromer left alone, but now will dribble it back out. To Lindortner, might have gotten away with a travel. Lindortner a little strong on that too. Great box out by Kareem Maddox, and he will calmly bring it out to clear. Barry, 18-16, Princeton up. Here's Wilkerson, off the window, a little strong. Rebound Cromer, he'll dribble it out to clear himself.
Good job under pressure from Wilkerson.
Absolutely great dribble there by Cromer. Shot clock winding down, 2 on it. Stojacic, that one off balance and off, defended well. Good close by Barry. And we will go to the media timeout. 18-16, an excellent final here so far. And while we have a moment, just want to thank some of the partners who have supported this event throughout. Ice District and Rogers Place, a team at the Oilers Entertainment Group, for all the work they did. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish the tournament there, but hey, a great setting through the better part of the weekend. So amazing support from them. Explore Edmonton and the City of Edmonton. Edmonton Events, the partnership that brings sport and cultural events to the city. Thank you for all the work and support there. The Edmonton Elks, Red Bull, the Downtown Edmonton Business Association, the Edmonton Stingers, of course Canada Basketball, their continued support. The senior women's national team spends a lot of time right here at the Saville Community Sports Center, so thanks to Canada Basketball. Innovative Benefits, William Huff, Taste of Edmonton, the Edmonton Youth Basketball Association, Alberta Basketball Officials Association, Edmonton Basketball Association, and the Edmonton Basketball Officials Association. And a lane violation for 3 seconds on Princeton. Also want to thank IC Live, the production crew. Unbelievable job by them all weekend long, getting things set up at Ice District, then saying, hey, let's go move it over to Saville, see how that works. And they did an incredible job getting this stream going and having us on the air. So cannot thank them enough for the incredible work they've done all the way through to make it possible for you, wherever you're watching from around the world, to view. And thank you to you for watching from here in Edmonton. We hope you've enjoyed both the Women's Series and the Men's Challenger events, so thank you for tuning in and watching great FIBA 3x3 basketball, and of course to FIBA for all the work they continue to do for 3x3 around the world. Now back to the action. Here's Turmal, 18-16, Princeton up on Vienna. Cromer goes behind the back and a foul on Tyrone Nash.
6 on Princeton.
So that will put them in the penalty. And Stojacic up top to put the ball in play. 3:15 to go. Doug McLean, Patrick Erickson from here at Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. The final of the Alberta Basketball Men's Challenger. Nash deflects that ball out of the hands of Cromer.
What a cheeky play.
Yeah.
He just saw it. He's like, let's reset this. Short shot clock, just smacks it out of his hands.
Absolutely. And I mean, you've got a shot clock now down to 8 seconds, so limited time for Vienna. Here's Cromer. Lindortner has to get a tough one over Maddox. Rebound by Barry. To Maddox. Runs right into Barry. Now down to Nash. They'll give him space, and Tyrone Nash able to finish with the reverse layup. Stojacic. And Princeton leaves him alone. Scores. Maddox now with a chance to win or get Princeton very close. Barry to Maddox. Dribbles back outside. Maddox for 2, just short. Stojacic rebound. 19-17. Princeton up on Vienna. Under 2.5 to go. Stojacic, that one off. We had a great look at it right in our line of sight. Off the right side of the rim and out of bounds.
And you can see Stojacic upset with himself, but Princeton's adjusted to the anybody but Stojacic beats us defense. He draws a half double or a full double every time as we get a timeout called by Princeton.
Princeton now chance to win. Up 19-17 on Vienna.
And you can see what this means to the players here. All of them trying very hard. Players diving all over the court. You can hear whatever Vienna player happens to be on the bench at the time screaming out defensive calls at the top of their lungs. You know how much this means for both of these teams to try to pick up a title here in Edmonton.
You and I barely have voices left. I would be shocked if Stojacic and Martin Turmal have voices left after this, with the encouragement that they have from when they're subbed out. Nash to inbound it to Maddox. Now to Barry, quick look at it to Kenyon. Barry, had a great look at it there. That one will deflect out of bounds. It will be Princeton ball as they execute out of the timeout.
Both sides of the rim, but didn't fall, and Barry, he knows it. It was a great look.
It was a great look and well set up by Princeton.
And a grateful Doug and I, as Stojicic opted not to dive into us.
Through us.
I'll take him over Tyrone Nash, but still, he's a big man.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I don't need either of them coming through us. Lynn Ortner. Oh, blocked by Maddox. Great play defensive. Lynn Ortner popped open momentarily. Shot clock winding down. Cromer, that one doesn't catch anything. They had a couple rebounders down there, and Stojicic chatting with Lynn Ortner. And there you see that great close by Maddox.
And that hustle right there at the end to stumble back and just get up enough where they didn't want to throw it down for the open layup.
Maddox to Wilkerson, guarded by Lynn Ortner. To Maddox, 2 on the shot clock. Will he get it off? No. Turnover. Cromer to Stojicic, guarded closely by Nash. Running through the screen from Cromer, left open for 2. That one well off, gets his own board. Oh, good seal there by Cromer to get them to within 1. Here is Maddox to Nash, back to Wilkerson, guarded by Stojicic. 4 on the shot clock, and we've got double fouls. Lynn Ortner and Nash.
Nash pleading his case.
And double fouls. Barry says, hey guys, it's okay.
No big deal.
Yeah, that's right. Nash was frustrated getting the foul call, but and there he's sharing a chuckle now with the referee.
And honestly, this benefits Princeton, because that's the 9th. So now any Vienna foul is going to be double bonus, which in 3v3 is 2 free throws and the ball.
That's right. And we'll get the floor mopped up here. Shot clock at 4, so it would not reset after those double fouls.
And you can see right there, Stojicic now back in view around Kenny Barry, hunched over. He has played his entire heart into this one. He is gassed, but he's not going to give up with 1:24 left.
Barry around Lynn Ortner, a little runner, doesn't go. They didn't have a lot of time on that shot clock, of course. Stojicic, screen from Cromer. Now continues to his left, they let him go. We're tied at 19. Maddox dribbles out to Barry. Step back 2, off the backboard. Wouldn't drop. Stojicic, lob inside, defended by Barry. Shot won't go. Lynn Ortner blocked from behind by Wilkerson. Wilkerson left alone for 2. Oh, it doesn't drop. Under a minute, under 50 seconds now. Stojicic short. Wilkerson comes up with it at the top of the arc. 9 on the shot clock. 19 all. Princeton and Vienna. Wilkerson for 2. Doesn't go. Cromer with the rebound. He'll slowly dribble it out. 8 on the shot clock. Stojicic defended by Barry. Screen coming from Cromer. Maddox steps up a little late. Shot doesn't fall. Rebound. Lynn Ortner puts it. No, he doesn't put it home. Rebound Cromer. That one drops. Now does Princeton force themselves into having to take it to Cromer. And Turmel yelling hands off because of the fact of the double bonus.
And that allows the layup, and we're tied. 20-20, 8 seconds to go. Could you want more from this tournament?
What a final. And what a final couple minutes here.
What a fight back by Vienna. Looked like they were all but out of this, and they find a way back. They had the lead, 2019, and forced Princeton into that basket. And now Princeton's going to hope for a stop in overtime, much like the semifinal.
And great job defensively by both teams to get out and run each team off the line. Stojicic, 3 seconds left. Deflected away, out of bounds, and it will be Princeton ball with 1 second.
Cromer asking for why it's not their ball, but it definitely looked like, and I was, again, grateful that Maddox decided not to dive for that right in front of us. It looked like the right call.
Well, they don't want to dive through these tables either any more than we want them diving into. 1 second left, so it's going to have to be a quick look. Barry will be the one to put the ball in play. Quick look for Barry, that one off the mark. And it wouldn't have counted had Nash's shot dropped. So we'll go to overtime. First team to 2 points wins it.
And we had one overtime game, period, in pool play, women's and men's combined. By the way, it came in our final pool play game, and this will be the second overtime game today, and both of them featuring Princeton.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's and Princeton, the team on shorter rest, so I'm sure they would have rather have won in regulation, but being the team that was in the disadvantageous position, I'm sure at this point they're pretty happy just ahead to overtime. And again, first, as you said, first team to 2 wins, and strategy comes into play. We saw Princeton get that one that forced a different style of defense in that semifinal win.
Yep.
But both of these teams have plenty of capable 2 shooters, including the man who's going to start with the ball, Stojicic.
He puts it in play to Cromer. Linortner for 2. Oh, just off the front iron. Thought it might rattle home. Stojacic steps back. Lob inside to Cromer, guarded by Wilkerson. He'll pop out. Quick look at it to himself, and the shot clock wound down. And a foul. And that will put Cromer on the line for 2.
I guess if you're going to foul a shot in the bonus, that's the one to do. Is already a 2-shot foul,
That's
which
right.
would have still been 2 free throws, but a chance for Vienna to walk this off from the line, and Cromer would be a pretty it'd be a good player to do it given his trials and tribulations of this tournament.
First free throw for Philip Cromer. Good. One more will win it for Vienna. Number 9 ranked team in the world. Trying to knock off number 7 Princeton. And it's good. Philip Cromer from the line. Look what